and it has nothing to do with the market. Let me ask you something honest. How many times in the last 6 months have you said, "The market is slow right now. Clients don't have budget. Competition is too strong. Things will pick up next quarter"? How many times? Because 95% people used to say the same things. Every single month. Same excuses. Same flatline. And all that time your competitor, same city, same clients, same market was growing. Quietly, consistently, without making noise about it. Today I am going to show you exactly what they were doing that you are not. And I promise you, it is not what you think. It is not a big strategy. It is not a big investment. It is one gap, one system gap that is silently bleeding almost every small and mid-sized business running on Zoom, Google Meet, or Microsoft Teams. Right now in 2026. And most of them have no idea it is happening. Let me walk you through what actually happens in most businesses. And I want you to be honest with yourself as I go through this. A client reaches out, you get on a call. Zoom, Meet, Teams, whatever platform you use. Great conversation. They're interested. They share their problem, their budget, their timeline, their hesitation. Everything you need to close that deal is said on that call. Right there, information flowing into the call. Call ends. You feel good about it. You make a mental note to follow up. Maybe you write 2 lines somewhere. Maybe you record a voice memo. Maybe you tell yourself you will remember. And you notice information disappears after some days. Your next meeting starts, then another call, then an email, then end of day, and that follow-up, that critical follow-up with the exact context that client gave you never happens. Or it happens 5 days late, with zero reference to what they said. Just a generic, "Hey, just checking in. Hope you are well. Let me know if you want to move forward." That message, that generic checking in message, is the sound of a deal dying. Because the client on the other end had a specific problem. They told you about it. And your follow-up proved you were not listening. And here is the worst part. 3 months later that same client calls you again. Maybe they did not find what they needed elsewhere. Maybe they are ready now. They call, you pick up, and you have absolutely nothing. No context, no notes, no memory. You start from zero. They feel it immediately, and that feeling of being forgotten is worth more than any price objection. It is the real reason they do not sign. Client journey ends with X and gone. They didn't leave because of price. They left because they felt forgotten. I want to show you something. This is what I call the business gap. And it exists in almost every business running on online meeting platforms today. Equals. The first meeting you show up. Client shows up. Conversation happens. Value is exchanged. Information is shared. This part most businesses do well. They show up. They talk. They present. At the end, the follow-up. This is where deals close. Where relationships deepen. Where referrals come from. Where growth actually lives. And in the middle, this giant gap where everything the client said goes to die. Because nothing captured it. Nothing organized it. Nothing made it retrievable when you needed it most. Now here is what makes this gap so dangerous. It is invisible. You cannot see it happening. You just see the result: deals not closing. Clients going cold. Follow-ups not landing. Revenue staying flat. And you blame the market. But the market is not the problem. The gap is the problem. Let me show you exactly what this gap costs you in real numbers. Say you take 10 client calls a month. Average deal value, whatever your number is. Now out of those 10 calls, how many do you follow up on with specific reference to what the client said? Honestly, for most businesses that number is 2, maybe 3, the other 7, generic follow-up or nothing at all. 7 potential deals leaking out of your business every single month through this one gap. Silently, 10 calls, 7 leaking out, 3 converting, close the gap, get to 8 or 9. Now let me tell you about the 5%. Because in 2026 only about 5% of businesses using online meeting platforms have actually solved this gap. And the difference in the growth compared to everyone else is not subtle. It is dramatic. These are not bigger companies. They are not companies with bigger teams. They are not companies spending more on marketing. They are companies that made one small system change that most people have never heard of. And that change did one thing: it closed the gap. Here is what their process looks like. Client call happens on Zoom or Meet or Teams. The moment that call ends, everything that client said, every detail, every concern, every number, every moment of hesitation, every reason they gave for not being ready is already captured, organized, summarized, and stored in a searchable format that this business owner can access in 3 seconds from anywhere, at any time. 3 months later, when that client calls back, they do not start from zero. They type the client name. They see the entire conversation history. They know exactly where things left off, exactly what the client was worried about, exactly what changed, and their follow-up, their response to that call, feels like magic to the client. Because they feel remembered. They feel like the only client this business has. and that feeling closes deals. This is not a soft skill. This is a system, and systems can be built by anyone, in any size business, in any industry. If you're on Zoom, Meet, or Teams, you can close this gap starting today. So let me show you exactly what this system looks like, and how simple it actually is to set up. The tool that closes this gap, it is an AI meeting assistant. And what it does is simple. It joins every single meeting you have on Zoom, Google Meet, or Microsoft Teams as a silent participant. You do not change anything about how you meet. You just meet, and tool captures everything. After every call, within minutes you get 3 things automatically. 1, a full transcript of everything said, word for word, speaker by speaker. 2, an AI-generated summary, key points, action items, decisions made. 3, a searchable record stored permanently that you can access anytime. Now here is where it gets powerful. Say a client called you in September. It is now January. They call again. You type their name into tool. Everything comes up. September conversation. What they said about their budget. What they said about their timeline. The exact moment they hesitated and why. All of it, in 3 seconds. And then here is the feature that changes follow-up forever. Ask Fred. You can literally ask tool a question. Type, what did this client say about their budget? And it tells you, exactly, with timestamp. No scrubbing through recordings. No searching through notes. Just ask, get answer, follow up perfectly. This is what the 5% are doing after every single meeting. While the 95% are closing the laptop and moving to the next thing and losing everything that was just said. Now let me know how to actually set this up. Because it takes less than 10 minutes. Just comment solution. I will create Logan video of setup entire things for you. The tool link is in description if you want to check.